losing touch, but there they surely were, falling from crowded trees, playing at survival, trying to make my brain as thick as their gatherings, their wrinkled ends, their May. Lying like truthful books the winters burn, told in a language I will never learn. My brother has been dead a year today. I think of all the poems that use the fall to euphemize a death, but Jimmy died this blazing time of year, and all the kinds of metaphor won't reach the boy I call and mourn and hunger for, the boy who tried too well. They are just leaves. Life teaches. Art reminds. I was sitting in a bar in North Beach, and a man came up, befriended me. Turned out he ran a magazine in India, English language poetry magazine, and he took some of my poems. And a man in Tibet read the poems, and he wrote me a letter. And he said, "What is it like to be a man, a poet, an American?" So of course I wrote him. Letter to a poet who has never left Tibet. We live in a house made of trees, my wife, my son, a dog, and I. We have a life as quiet as a bee's. I try to teach the 4 things I have learned, knowing that each will find a place to lie. I've put the 4 in other poems. Like you, I guess, I'm more a poet than a lover or a friend, though I am friendly, and my loves don't end. As to my country, it is much too strong to go the way it's going very long. Our older books we do not read. Our young are never singing, and they are never sung. I think we take more than we'll ever give. There is a tax on flowers where I live. Sometimes the days won't move no matter what you try. First things you say in the spring as you plant the brown rose, but the first thing you see is they just won't come. The batter stands interminably in the fresh sun, tapping his yellow bat on the white plate. Ball 1, strike 1, ball 2, strike 2. At this rate, we'll all be dead before the first home run. One night you hear on the phone, old Critchley's dead. And now the phone seems to bluster when it rings. And the boys say, "Sir," when you walk to town. Tommy Critchley? What was that he said? I feel so good, I swear to God it stings. And you call to the moon, "Slow down, slow down." This one is addressed to a woman. I had never written a poem, not one, when I met you, not counting the Latin translated for classes. I'd never known the faint brush at dusk of silk or satin, nor handled in the light what I could own was mine. I think of all the things I've done or seen or heard because of you. The man in Kilkenny who said, "My God, your wife's a rare beauty," as we danced at the fair. My shy brothers looking a new way at me. All this I've had, all this, just so I can write this poem to say to you, my life is the second weekend of a love affair every blooming day as far as the eye can see. And then some time passed. It's called Another Birthday, one of those birthdays that end in O. And there was a party, and after the party, a poem got written. And it's addressed to a woman. More wine than we are used to. The guests gone. Gaudy wrapping, paper plates, the coarse smell of unfinished food and intricate perfume. All of this with the sun still out, the day as innocent as can be, the front lawn the same as far as anyone can tell, and there we are in our familiar room, thinking for once of what we cannot say. Come with me outside before it gets dark. I have to show you what I know will please, something between the truthful and the true. I want to walk in our part of the park so you can see. The leaves on the old trees are just as green as the leaves on the new. was once a soldier. A gun on either side of me. A pond with blood and foam, shit and corpses in it. Among the lily pads, empty boxes of bullets, bandages, processed food, a quiet made up of too much sound. Grass and weeds smashed by up to the minute shards of metal, riven to find the fox's hole I dug to do some transient good. It is morning in her bedroom. Soon she'll dress and wander to her coffee, safe as sun, while I huddle beneath a canopy of shells. Not seashells, not the bursting shells of peas, just chunks of murder left undone. War is mere death. Love made a man of me. Kaleidoscope. You started to turn and thought better of it. You started to turn, heart dense with love, the music ballooning to the happy ending. You'd started to, or did you? Your shoulder toward me, the fulcrum of my world. You started to turn, the left foot and the left side going left, the eyes to replace the hair as you turn. Or did you hesitate at the door, to straighten your shirt, adjust your smile, ready yourself for kindness to the indifferent? Or did you hesitate, ever even start to turn? When I am happy, yes, happy, the blue-green wall is full of insects, the songs are only songs, and you do not turn. You are resolute, you are dim, flipping the door, going to get the mail, Monday's child, clean and right, as those who kill for a living, the trout's head, the lamb. I celebrate you, rejoice in your displeasure, the lines of your clothes, the brisk disappearance, unfettered, jaunty, crass, leaving me to think, I am not crazy, I have not been left. So I turn the tube of the past, slap its side. I like it that my life is glass, pieces I can see too, pieces I cannot, pieces that stop me and let me go. You started to turn, you came running back, you stay or you do not. The toy that is my speculation, my hall of mirrors, can only sprinkle the past in patterns I can live with for a while. Turning and looking and seeing, east or night, I choose, I decide, I see you turning, or you do not turn. Kaleidoscope. Oh, bring down the tension a little here. One poem, it's called One Poem. I had been writing until night. I had just turned to light the light when I looked out. A tall raccoon had her hands on my pane. The moon was reading over her shoulder. It's all right, I could have told her. I mostly sit, I'm not feral. Just about the only peril is that you'll slip and fall, or I'll keep smiling at your crazy smile. First you must think and I must feel. I'm here to offer you a deal. I will let you attend my home if you will grant me this one poem. And that really happened. And she did. I want to imagine walking in a forest and the birds are just going crazy, And then all of a sudden they stop. The dent insistence of crows. Conversations on a train in China. The darkened trees looking ready to take fright. The din, as far as that goes, as real on our skin as rain or the skittish legs of bees out for the first time at night. Then it was still, and all those branches, burdened with the strain of silence, bowed like the Chinese on that train in calm delight. Eve, I said before the moment flew, they all stopped to look at you. Okay. The woman I bed. It hasn't made me haughty, more like proud, watching her hold the hemline of her dress before it sails and shimmers to her head. and softly drops toward me from her hand. I know my sight goes dark, my heart gets loud, and I become immortal, more or less. And yet I know, when all is done and said, that there is nothing there I understand. I've taken her to Rome and to Alaska. Should I even try? Do I even dare to catch up, to catch on, to catch as catch can? What on earth, I think, can I ask her as her eyes tell the truth, as she lies there waiting the way the fire waits inside a match? You've been so nice. I'm going to give you 2 poems as an encore.
Yeah!
All you have to do is imagine me waking up in the morning and walking to the window, okay?
Okay.
It was the first good day in a long time. Even bald men took their kids for a walk. I put on the mamas and the papas, stood at the window seeing marvels. Dogs looked giggly, and the prick next door waved. And I found I was saying out loud, I must have done something good. I must have done something real good. This is a poem for the angel who was given the privilege of naming the color of grass and who jumped up and down on her chair, waving her hand and shouting, green, green, green. Oh, green. And this is about the life I would lead if I led the life I would lead. It's called a poem about my life. I would find the road and then the house, trying to look neat. Well, there you are, he'd say. Before we start, let's have some food. Blue water pot, red faces, and white arms. Pay for my time, I say. The other things don't count, materials and such. I have handwriting you can read. I'll show you if you want. So we would talk of price, my city fingers moving round the air, more tough than strong, making it seem to be right there already. We need it soon, he says, this very day. I nod to say I know, for he has sought me out. It was the name he heard, he says, when he went into town and asked. We sip at coffee with the bargain struck. They place a table near the well's green edge, and I line up my pens the way I do. The children come and watch me work, led by the boy who means to do it too. I let them stay, let them see it as it comes along, and hold it up, and since they're young, show them with what care I join the reason's edge, and how it fit, just snug and fine enough, and how it seemed one thing when first you looked, but when you looked again, it seemed another. Finishing as the children fooled around, the parents back, walking toward the well, ready to read, time enough to see, I'd hand it over and I'd watch his eyes, and he would read it out, and they would ooh and ah, and then he'd pass it round, and they would pick out best and next to best, and so, the boys all fine, the girls as grave as teachers, waiting to see it grow inside them, or to be of no account. They'd fall to quiet, looking one to one. I'll start over. They'd fall to quiet, looking one to one. I'd stand up then to go and we'd shake hands. I'd start across the yard in yellow light, turning to fix their gait, and not too shy, I'd call across the evening, tell your friends. Thank you.